All right. It's your boy, Boss Cowboy. Yeah, man. Bringing you another one. We're getting close to the season, man. So, I'm going to tell you something. In a game of inches, I mean this, in a game of inches, you got to be big. You know, because you know they call this game the game of inches, right? Now, think about how big a football field is, right? 100 yards, right? But the game is actually described as a game of inches. So what you talking about, boss? What you talking about? Well, in a game of inches, bro, with 100 yards of space, you gotta be greedy, and you gotta be very detailed, you know. So that'll help you understand Boss Cowboy Sports, because then today we dealing with in the game of inches, learning from Tyron Smith for Jason Peters, because we just waiting on the news. We don't know what's gonna happen, but regardless, since he's the topic of discussion, we gonna keep talking, because Tyron Smith and Jason Peters career wise it's the same, right? So, and that at this point they are the same type of player. Injury prone, gotta be smart about contingency plans. It's just a different face, but we gotta think the same. So we gonna talk about it on Boss Cowboy Sports. We gonna break this down. So y'all just chill out. I'll be right back. Let's go. Same plan, different man. Same plan. Same plan, different man. Same plan. Come on. Let's go. Yeah. All right. Let's go. All right, man. Let's get it. All right. Whew. Man. What's up, man? It's Boss Cowboy Sports. Yeah, so we gonna talk about football again. Strategy, preparing. In a game of inches, you just gotta be detailed. You gotta look at this stuff, all right? So we gonna look at this. We gonna put some more stuff out there, and we gonna talk about ideas and the reason why some of this stuff you gotta say over and over, because we don't learn. I'm gonna be all the way honest. We don't learn. And because we don't learn, sometimes you gotta say the same thing over and over. And it ain't really the same thing. It's gonna be new. It's gonna be new. But at the same time, it's not people taking heed. So, I mean, sometimes, and I'm not calling people kids, but it's like kids where, you know, you think because you told them once they got it, a lot of times you got to keep saying stuff, you know, because we have the same risk and we gonna go over it. We gonna just kind of explain it, break it all down. So y'all give me 1 second. All right. Say what's up to everybody in the building first. Ready Red, what's up, man? I see you, T Johnson, Swain, Elp, my dog. Life's crazy, Swain, Chase Washington, what's up? True Vibes, I see you. Coach Marv, he say, boss, that team got it out the mud, Bobby. And follower of Yeshua. And he said, Boss Cowboy, and he gave me the Yoga Flames, man. I like that, bro. Let me.
Dracarys.
Let me keep saying hello. I see Lewis, Craig, Jay Johnson, he early, Swain, T Smooth TV. I mean, he jump in here every time he see the button. And we got Samuel Rowe. So what's up, everybody, man? Good to see y'all. As the people filling up, coming on in. Because obviously, you know, we dealing with learning from Tyron Smith. All right. So this is important, and this is gonna be easy to break down, but I need y'all to stay with me. All right. This is one I want y'all to really stay with me, because I'm just gonna do one thing and sit back for a little while and kind of just go through this. But the crazy thing is I'm gonna go back in time. All right. I'm gonna go back in time. This is December 21st. All right. When actually we already had this conversation. So this is December 21st. I just want y'all to listen. We go break it down. We go fast forward to now. And we go just put it all together on preparing for Tampa. All right. And preparing for the season. All right. So I want y'all to really stay with Boss on this one. All right. So here we go. Let's ride.
So what should the Dallas Cowboys do now that it's pretty much understood that time?
And before I start this, I still have the same shirt fund. So obviously I'm rocking the same shirt again. So anybody that want to contribute to the same shirt fund, you can donate to Boss Cowboy Sports, man. Help your boy get some new Dallas Cowboy shirts. Appreciate it. All right, here we go. But listen.
Tyron Smith is out. Let's talk about it. Boss Cowboy Sports, your voice matter. Well, you know, Tyron Smith is a complicated issue because this year he's not having his usual injuries. His injuries are coming more so because freakish stuff is happening to him. Mcgovern actually broke his ankle this time. So I know a lot of people want to kind of hang on and say that he's injury prone. A lot of times those non-contact injuries are the ones you want to be concerned about. But that's not the case this time. So it's more so like his luck is more so have been bad because of in-game contact. So, but obviously we're here, but it's one of those things that we also expected. So you expected it because of his injury history. You can't ignore it, right? So one thing that I mentioned a long time ago is that they should, even with the fact that they started at one point still, because of Tyron Smith's history, I said that they should continue to cross-train still, even after he came back.
Oh, what if, now just what if they would have done that in training camp? Just what if? What if? Let's keep going.
Because you never know when Tyron Smith is going to be out.
Oh.
Well, we're sitting at that situation. And we saw Ty Nsekhe get into the game when that happened. And I'm talking about against the Washington football team, because obviously they couldn't make the adjustment of putting still at left tackle at the last minute. But that only happens when you don't cross-train your guys to be prepared for that in the moment.
Where are we now? Just where are we now? Where are we now?
already proved to you that there are plenty of teams. We've shown this many times on Boss Cowboy Sports. We've shown this plenty of times that there are many teams that cross-train. A lot of teams cross-train their tackles and their guards to be prepared for the unexpected. You're supposed to train your guys for the unexpected. So we sitting here right now pretty much at the unexpected with Tyron Smith, or really it was expected. So what should happen is we should put for sure Steele back at left tackle, okay? After he gets a full week of practice, because remember, he was already trending up even at left tackle now.
So this is proof that this is not hindsight BS. This is December 21st. And clearly in the moment, we all was seeing what happened, what was happening with Steele. Let's say it all together.
Dracarys.
This is December 21st, y'all. All right. So here's the date right here. Oh, I'm sorry. I got the date wrong. It's December 13th. Even earlier than I said. This is December 13th, where I'm talking about how to prepare for T. Smith being out. Now, sadly, let's be honest, if we lazy or if we not thinking ahead, we got to think the same thing even if we sign Jason Peters. Why? Anybody want to take a guess why? Because they are the same type of athlete.
Dracarys.
Yeah, they are the same at this point. So let's keep going.
When you play left tackle versus playing right, the OC did a great job of explaining how your power hands and your balance and everything changes. So a lot of people misunderstood and thought that because Steele played so good on the right side that he would automatically do the same on the left, where that didn't happen originally, especially when he debuted at left tackle, because he was what? Thrown out there.
So who being thrown out there right now? So some people say, boss, your channel is negative. Boss, your channel, I just want to just be like, go Cowboys.
How much? How much?
I just want to be able to be happy and positive, boss. All right, listen. This is a channel that is based on solutions. I'm going to say that again.
You want answers?
If you want answers, sometimes you got to identify potential problems.
You can't handle the truth.
Because if you listen to this channel still and don't understand that we call out potential problems before they happen a lot, you still don't understand Boss Cowboy Sports.
You want answers?
So if you come over to Boss Cowboy Sports,
You want answers?
because this is not that place that we just put our head in the sand and we just hope everything gonna be okay. Oh yeah, go Cowboys. This is a solution-oriented page. Channel, period. We focus on solutions. So that's why you heard me talk about this December 13th. And I talked about this before December 13th. I've been talking about this now actually for about 3 years, be honest with you. All right. But nobody listening, because whenever we have these debates, what do people say? Don't move still. Don't touch Tyler. But now you gotta touch Tyler now. Don't you? Now you got to touch him. You ain't want to touch him. I didn't either. But guess what?
And being thrown out there, it's just not wise for us to expect somebody to have an instant change like that without the offseason, where he got the reps in training camp. But once he started playing right tackle, they stopped practicing him at left tackle.
And I'm saying what happened with Steele is what we doing now. Can I rewind that? See, what happened is they was giving Steele reps at left and right during training camp, and they just stopped altogether cross training as soon as the season started. And so Tyron went out, and we was stuck
there. And being thrown out there, it's just not wise for us to expect somebody to have an instant change like that without the offseason, where he got the reps in training camp, but once he started playing right tackle, they stopped practicing him at left tackle.
Landlord, what's up?
Just a little bit of frozen measure Kool-Aid as I give y'all this information. So
give him that Kool-Aid,
so
boss.
Now, if they would have cross-trained him, they would have kept him getting the reps to be prepared for the unexpected. So now we don't know exactly the preparedness of Steele, but here we go again, where we have to trust Steele likely to take on the left side responsibilities with little reps again.
All right, Steve, I love you, man. I do, but this thinking keep getting us in trouble. It's predictable too, everybody. Like, we can predict this stuff is gonna happen. So Steve, he said, you're prophetic, boss. That's true insight. However, still needs to stay at right tackle to hone his craft, in my opinion. And that's what I say. This is traditional thinking. And I'm not picking on you, Steve. This is why I've been saying I've been fighting this fight for years. And I show y'all the evidence that teams are doing this. Now, am I saying 50% reps at practice? No. But at least 20? Can we at least give them 20% reps to prepare them on a weekly basis for somebody going out that's likely going to go out? Is that crazy? No, it's not. And you'll be better prepared. This is what a lot of Cowboy fans are saying. They're saying, boss, I don't want to give no reps at all. I want him to stay at right and never give any reps at left. That's what y'all say. Yeah, you know what? Y'all are very uncompromising people.
Dracarys.
You are uncompromising. Because God dog, how many times do we see the same thing happen and we do the same thing again as if it's not going to happen? That's the benefit of looking at videos. You know what I'm saying? You know? So I'm not picking on you, Steve, man. I love all of y'all. Y'all know that. I love y'all. But this is the honest debates that we should have, that we are having. And I appreciate you, Steve, for being willing to have the debate, you know, and you know, we all are debating this, but I think we got to be flexible some. Like, come on, man, we need some flexibility up in here, man. Y'all don't give him no reps. He needs to just stay 100% of the time, never move him, not one rep, boss.
Yoga fire.
No, man. No, y'all need to compromise at this point, because we sitting in a lose-lose situation that was actually preventable. Okay, here we go.
So obviously, that's the bad news. The good news, the real good news, is that like all the things that's been happening throughout the 2021 season, this is another one of those blessings in disguise. So none of us that are so excited about Micah Parsons, okay? None of us that are excited about Micah Parsons playing the way he's been playing, especially coming off the edge, we would have never seen it if it wouldn't have been for Tank's injury. So that's one of those things that worked together for our good, even though it appeared originally bad.
Right.
So still getting all these reps at right tackle, then at left tackle. You also have Steele who is showing and proving and really proving and doing a good job of proving that whenever you give him the reps, he improves.
Has that ever been a lie? Come on, y'all. Has that ever been a lie? This is December 13th. It's no objections on what I'm saying, especially at that moment. It was nobody that objected to what we were seeing on film with Steele. Let's not forget it now in a time of need. Because we still in the time of need. I'm serious. Listen, y'all. It's a lot of optimism. It's a lot of people. Ooh-wee, man, I like this pick. Ooh-wee, if we get us Jason Peters, we going to the Super Bowl. Ooh, just get us some Jason Peters, and we are on our way. Ooh, Jason Peters, that's all we need, and we go undefeated. Bruh. Listen, I'm just keeping it real. It's the same thing all over again. We have to prepare. If we sign Jason Peters, for him to be in today and gone tomorrow. And I'm glad that he, played 15 games. I'm glad. But you still have to be prepared because his injury history began to be almost identical to T. Smith. At this point, we will be absolutely insane not to have a strong contingency plan. We will be insane. It's because it's the same type of player. All right. So let's sit back and learn from the past so that we can know exactly what to do right now in the present.
So last year, 2020, when Steele was thrown out there, he was beat like a drum. But he kept improving. To the second half of the season, he actually played okay. He was better than he was on the first half of the season. Then he jumped out and got tested mightily out the gate against Bosa. Then he had to go against Judon. Then he had to go against Hunt. All that kind of stuff made Steele better. The same thing on the left side. Is yes, he stunk it up the first time they put him out there on the left side, but that's understandable because it's hard to play left tackle.
See, I'm telling y'all be listening to them old theories. Those are old theories. Leave him at right. Too many moves will cripple the O-line. Those are old theories. See, I already showed you that the Saints cross-train their starters. So how many times I'm going to show y'all actual facts and we still stick to these old theories? And I'm doing this because I love the Cowboys. I know I'm at risk of losing subs. I know that. But I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I'm going to put the truth out there. That's why I did this show talking about the Dallas Cowboys and fans need to divorce old offensive line theories. Only we think like this. If we turn around and just look outside the league, we are actually being left behind in this old theory of you never cross-train your offensive linemen. I'm just being honest. We are old thinking. And then what happens is when a crisis happens, like an injury, we are not prepared. And then we left with bad options like, hey, you know what? Let's take this Tyler Smith guy that we gave no reps to in their whole training camp, not even one. And let's just throw him out there and see what happens. Hey, and you know what, boss? Man, come down. All we got to do is just run the ball. We're going to be okay. Okay, so what if, let's just think of another scenario. Like, what if Tampa get ahead? What do you have to do when a team gets ahead, especially if they get ahead by a significant amount? You have to throw.
Yoga fire.
Oh, boss, you don't have to throw ever. Not ever. No, there are situations. I'm sorry. Yes, you can be committed to the run, but there are some times where the game will dictate that you have to get there with at least more throws. Just sometimes there is a possibility that you can fumble and they can run it in and you can throw an interception like Aikman did in the first half of San Fran and you're behind by 2 touchdowns early. And you start thinking, yeah, we go still keep our game plan, but if it get late and they still ahead, we got to throw.
Yoga
But
fire.
boss, just run the ball, boss. Come down. Hey, we're gonna just put Tyler out there, and we're gonna never throw. That's the plan, boss. So listen. This is why I'm giving you solutions. This is what this show is about right now. Solutions. All right, these are solutions. See, some people, they don't understand us. They don't get it. They'll listen to this. They'll be like, boss, you're being negative. Boss,
You want answers?
you're in the right place. Boss, you're being negative. This is scaring me, boss. Boss, come on now. Come on, boss. Stop it. Listen, all I'm trying to do is prepare us for what could happen. You know, don't put your head in the sand.
You can't handle the truth.
No. Let's talk now. Let's put stuff out there now of what could happen and how to be prepared. Right? That's what we're doing. That's all we're doing. So let's get back to it. Give me a sec. Thank you for your patience.
That's all you've been playing is right tackle. I always explain it best if you demonstrate. Like and I really want y'all to do this. I want you to actually get in your fight stance. Stand up. I'm serious. Stand up. Get in your fight.
Oh, Will, what's crazy talk? I want to know. Yeah, spell it out. What's crazy? Because I know you're not saying this idea is crazy. Because if you're saying this idea is crazy, I'm going to show y'all again to where the Saints are doing this. And the Saints offensive line has been better than ours the last 7 years. So when somebody is doing what y'all saying, I don't know what you're saying is crazy talk. You might be saying something else is crazy talk. But cross training is something that actually happens in the NFL. It's just that these Dallas Cowboy fans has not took their head out the sand to look around and say, what are other teams doing? See, that's why you should respect this channel, because I've actually done the research. Yeah, and it's not just steal. Somebody say, so you just focusing on steal? No, I'm focusing on cross training. That's why I was saying they messed up with Collins. They had a whole training camp to have him get reps at the left and at the right. We already saw that he was playing good on the right. All preseason games, A. Collins was playing good on the right. They never gave him left side reps, not once. So guess what? We have no film, we have no confidence, nor any knowledge of what he could do on the left, because they never even did it. They never even attempted it. So there's absolutely no knowledge of what this man can do. And they made that decision while knowing Ball was struggling at the left, and they cross-trained him. So what I'm saying is actually cross-train the guys who have the pedigree of actually doing this and was actually improving when they was doing this. Have we forgot that Yes Steele was getting good even at left tackle? Have we forgot that? Have we forgot that? Yeah. Yes, he started bad against Denver, but he didn't stay bad. He also started bad at right tackle. See, let's not leave that out. Don't leave that out. See, everybody's like, he's a right tackle. See, at first, y'all didn't think he was a tackle, period. Can I give me a fire on that?
Yoga fire.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Y'all thought he wasn't a tackle at all. Oh, he need to be out the league. That's what a lot of y'all said when he had to jump in there as an undrafted free agent. Oh, he sucked. He's garbage.
Yoga fire.
But what did
Yoga
the
rain.
reps do? What did those reps do? It made him what? Better at what? Right tackle. Now you're saying, oh, he just a right tackle. Leave him there. Well, why don't we learn the lesson that we should have learned from him getting better? So Steven say, boss, you're being negative. Why don't we learn a lesson that we actually saw with our eyes with him at right tackle? Let's apply that logic to potential at left tackle. That is because I'm trying to win, y'all. That's why I'm throwing this ideal out of here. You know, I'm not over here like, hey, let's just have some faith. Like, how many times have we seen and heard from people with experience that it's not a good idea to throw anybody out there? Just throw them out there. I thought we knew that.
Then throw your hands up. Throw a jab. Throw a jab. I'm serious. Stand up and do it. Throw a jab. Now I want you to switch your feet. Switch your feet and throw that same jab with your left. And just tell me how it feels. I'm dead serious. Tell me how it feels. Even just throwing a little bit. Throw it with your right or whatever your dominant hand is, and then throw it with your left. Tell me how it feels. You're going to instantly feel the awkwardness of it. Instantly. You're going to instantly feel it. It is because it takes a while before the body to begin to be able to mirror what you was doing on the right, on the left. My sons are fighters. The only way I was get them comfortable with fighting on either side is they had to practice over and over, fighting on their left side or fighting on their right side. Because I always knew, if you get caught with your feet out of position, you still need to be able to have the instincts of a fighter. Don't matter which foot is forward or which hands are forward. But that's because I trained my sons to be that way. It's obviously, I'm talking about Taekwondo and combat fighting, but to a degree, tackle is very much so combat fighting. The hand fights and all the stuff that go with it, the counters, the techniques, all the times you have to use your hands. You got to get really used to punching on your left versus punching on your right. But that's happening.
All right. So my boy Florida say everyone can't be versatile. We need some to be masters at their positions. See, we go stay with this Dallas Cowboy Jason Garrett philosophy. We not gonna divorce it, no matter how bad it get. That's just I just see that's how some of our fans are. We just stick with it, even if it kills us over and over and over again. Yeah, we go just stick with it. We go just hey man, Bell, he's a left tackle, so let's just keep him out there. Chaz Green, let's just keep him out there because we need masters at the other ones. No. One bad offensive lineman that's ill-prepared could wreck a whole game. There is nothing that can wreck a game like a bad offensive lineman. You have to put your whole playbook up when you cannot trust your tackles. You have to abandon all the plans that you had for Tampa. If that tackle cannot hold up and you throw him out there and he's not ready and they're attacking that left side, you have to say, hey, all the plans that we have, abandon ship. You have to. So yes, I mean, we talking about we need masters on the right side. It don't matter if we have a master if Steele is a master on the right. It don't matter. If Dak blindside breaks all the way down, it's pretty much game over. There was no chance it was going to beat Atlanta. No. When it broke down, when that left side broke down, game was over in 2017. It was, no, you wasn't going to win. Dak didn't have 2 seconds to throw the ball. The game was over. As soon as Chaz Green could not stop that rush coming from the end, the game was over. There was no plans. There was no run the ball, go stop it. The game was over. We was behind, and it kept snowballing because we couldn't stop the pressure from the left. So just ask yourself, do we just want to be stubborn to where we want nobody to ever move? No, don't move. We need them to be masters. It's like at this point, it's like all plans are bad. It's just really which one is the worst. That's what we really debating now. See, because people don't want to compromise on this. And this is a simple compromise. This is a simple ask. What we're asking is, don't be like y'all thinking, which is never move them ever. Never even give them a rep on the other side. Don't even give them a rep. Even a rep over there is bad for them, boss. Not even one rep, boss. Don't have them designate at least 20% of the reps to trying to learn a backup secondary position. No, boss. Never do that, boss. Never. Well, other teams are doing it, and they're better than us. Really? Yeah. You got some examples? Yeah. Who? The Saints? Oh, really? But still don't move them, boss, because it's not the Dallas Cowboys way. We don't move people. We let them become masters at their craft. All the while, it's other teams that if they have a breakdown on a line, they keep rolling. They keep rolling. They don't have to just break up the whole offensive scheme and plan that they had. No. They say, all right, we was prepared for this. We was expecting this. We know the history of our tackles. We know our history. So we don't want to have to just throw a guy out there like Ball because he was the only one getting reps. We don't want to do that. So we expecting Peters to at any point go down. So we're ready. And see, y'all saying musical chairs. Y'all swear y'all are stuck. Y'all can't get off it. And this is the thing. These are all Dallas Cowboy theories. And even when I show y'all evidence, y'all stay stuck with that. Musical chairs, boss. It's like, is that all we know is our way? I guess so.
Still right now. So yeah, it's a messed up situation, but this is another one of those situations that we can look at it as glass half empty, or we can look at it for what it really is, and that this glass is actually very much so half full, because all the guys that's getting all the reps from these unexpected injuries are now better, right? Because when we lost Gallimore, what did we say? Oh man, also gonna have to put on some big boy shoes. But guess what? He did. And when he hit his rookie wall, Gallimore was there to step back in and relieve him. And now Osa is gonna be more so of a rotational player where we still should get some bang out of him. But the blessing was that Gallimore went down, which gave him the reps. So we seeing still a good preparedness for the playoffs. So yes, obviously we all are not happy about Tyron Smith going down and that he's not playing again. But on a glass half full, I am happy because we got weaker teams that's coming up. We got weaker pass rush that's coming up, which then lets us allow Steele to develop on the left, as well as continue to get his reps on the right. And so whatever that could happen in the playoffs, at least we can say we've seen it. Like even with Cooper Rush, just think about it. Cooper Rush never got any game experience, but when he was called upon, he played, and he played good enough to win the game. You don't think if something happened to Dak temporarily in the playoffs that we won't need the built up equity in Cooper Rush? Yes, we will. So that's exactly how I see the situation with Tyron Smith versus Steele, is that we are in a situation where, yes, on the surface, it looks bad, but in the long run, it's very good. Boss Cowboy Sports, your voice matters. That's where you get this type of content. Stay up.
Check this out. Alright. So, because I'm really trying to wake people up to the other side of the matrix. Alright. Because there really is a other side to this matrix. Alright. This Dallas Cowboy, you know, let's get the same type of player and let's just hope everything is going to be okay. That's going to get us caught up, man. That's the only thing I could tell you, is because let me ask y'all a question. All right. So what if we would have took heed to this? Just listen. What if?
Well, let me ask you guys this question. I'm gonna kick it over to you, Law. Do you think that Tyler Smith, even though he might start off at left guard, I personally think that he might be our swing tackle. So if something does happen to Tyron Smith, the Cowboys could consider kicking him out the left tackle and plugging back in Connor Mcgovern at left guard.
So what if we would actually did that right now? Just what if? Let's eat a what if sandwich. Okay? Let's play the what if game. What if we would have listened to J Tuck right there? Now, J Tuck was in a major minority on this idea, but let's just play the what if game. What if we would have prepared Tyler Smith during training camp for left tackle in case T. Smith went down? Just what if? Let me just ask y'all a question. Would you want, you knowing what you know now, would you want Tyler Smith to at least have gotten some reps? Or would you still say no reps? I'm asking a real question, because now you know T. Smith went down. All right? So we ain't got to play no games. We got the benefit of hindsight knowing that T. Smith is gone. So with you knowing that, and if you could rewind time, would you say, you know what, J Tuck, let's go with that? Let's listen to him one more time. Listen.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. I'm gonna kick it over to you, Law. Do you think that Tyler Smith, even though he might start off at left guard, I personally think that he might be our swing tackle. So if something does happen to Tyron Smith, the Cowboys could consider kicking him out the left tackle and plugging back in Connor Mcgovern at left guard.
I don't see no answers in the chat. Where's the answer? Where's your answers? I want to know your answers. What if? I'm gonna ask it again, so I don't see no answers in the chat. Also, make sure y'all subscribe to Boss Cowboy Sports, because that's the only way you'll get content like this. Also, make sure y'all hitting them like buttons, all right? Because I know how it is. We gotta wait till the room get full, and then we gotta remind everybody that please hit that like button, all right? So while y'all sitting in here, go ahead and hit that like. Yeah. Yeah, see, Amp, you my dog, bro. You peep game. That boy said Boss was doing last minute Christmas shopping and still doing content. No, That's the wrong content. He said, "Boss was doing last minute Christmas shopping and putting the Cowboys online to work." Yes, I was. And crazy say, we don't bring people in, guys. We have to cross train. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we don't bring in guys. We have to cross train, sure. But I'm asking the question. And I'm not seeing any answers. I want to see some answers. I really do. Okay. And then Mike McCarthy did say this isn't fantasy football. He said that to the ideal of Zach Martin going to right tackle when Steele was struggling. That's exactly when he said that. But you know the funny thing? He still did it. He did what he called Madden.
Bruh.
Yeah, so yeah.
Finish him.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing no answers though, man. Y'all not playing the game right. See, I'm not seeing no answers. I'm gonna ask this question again. I guess this is Boss Cowboy versus the crowd. And I'm cool with fighting the crowd. I'm cool with that. Hey, sometimes you gotta fight the crowd when you want to win a championship. You gotta go against the crowd. You do, and I'm cool with that because I love the Cowboys. So I'm gonna ask you this question again. This is for everybody. All right, this is for everybody. Willie say, Boss Cowboy, Cooper Rush is not the answer, bro. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with that for sure. So check this out. Let's go back to the question. All right. So if you could, because this show was before training camp. All right. This show was before training camp. All right. So, and Tuck was saying, which I agree with, hey, we should give Tyler Smith some reps at left tackle as well as guard. Obviously, mainly guard, but give him at least some reps out there because we have an injury-prone left tackle. Now, you knowing what you know now, that Tyron Smith, if you knew that Tyron Smith was going to be injured right now, would you say, yeah, Tuck, I agree. Let's go ahead and give him some reps now because Tyron Smith is getting ready to get injured? What would you say? I want to see your answer in the chat. Okay? And I'm still not seeing people playing this game. So what that's actually saying is that if we can't answer this question honestly, we've been stubborn to an old idea when the answer is obvious. Right? Because see, the way that I laid it out, all of us, if we playing this game in good faith, would say, absolutely, I would want Tyler Smith to get some reps in training camp because T. Smith is gonna get hurt. We would all say, yeah, I don't want him out there with no reps. Yeah, we all would say that. Well, that's why you hear a lot of people use the term past is prologue. Okay? So that term means you can predict a lot of times the future if you just look at the past. You can predict what's getting ready to happen. Obviously, it's not 100%. Obviously, it's not 100%, but you go hit a whole lot more than you miss. So let me ask you a question. Would it be a bad gamble? Just hypothetical. Let's just think this through together. Would it be a bad gamble to assume that it's a higher probability that Jason Peters could also get hurt? Is that a bad possibility? And this is a good question right here. This is the question right here that I love. He say, but do we have the coaching to cross train? That's a great question. What did we do in training camp? Let me first ask you a question. Let me ask you a question with a question. From what you seeing out of Mcgovern, is Mcgovern playing better at left guard than what you saw last year? I'm asking a real question. I want to see it in the chat. I really do. Is Mcgovern playing better this year at left guard than last year? I'm asking a question. Yeah. We would all say yes. But he wasn't playing as good last year. So he improved. How did he improve? Did he improve on his own or did he get coached? Going back to this good question. This is a good question. What caused the improvement in Mcgovern? Was it coaching? Okay, let's ask a question. Was Mcgovern cross-trained this year? This training camp? I'm asking a question. Was Mcgovern cross-trained? Did he play some right guard in camp? Yep. Did he play some left guard in camp? Did he even play some center in camp and play in a preseason game as center? Did he play bad at any of it? No. So, let's go back to this question. Can your coaches... Oh, man. I actually deleted the question. Let me get back. I deleted that question on accident. Y'all give me a second. I got to get y'all comments back in here. I got to set it up. Y'all be patient with your boy. But going back to that question, can our coaches cross-train? Yeah. It just... Are they going to take on a challenge of doing what they did with their backups to the starters? That's the question. Because you did it with your backups, right? They did it with their backups. Yeah. They did. They did it. But they don't do it with the starters. So that's why it's so foreign to Dallas Cowboy fans, because we don't do it. But I guarantee if we were Saints fans, we would be like, hell yeah, cross train. You know why? Because they better than us on the offensive line and it's working. So why don't we do what other teams are doing where it's also working? Yeah. And I agree with this comment. Willie said this and I agree. I agree with this. I agree with this. He said, boss, let's keep it real. This team is starting to feel like it's Dan Quinn's team in the making. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. It has a feel of sabotage to it. It does. It has a little bit of it has a whiff. Yeah, and Tyron Church say, can we say, can I say Mcgovern needs to be a starter? If we didn't have Tyler Smith, none of us would have concerns at Mcgovern starting. based on what we've seen in training camps, preseasons. Nobody is talking about how bad Mcgovern played. The only thing people are saying is Tyler Smith played better. They're not saying Mcgovern is bad, because tape is not showing that Mcgovern is bad. So just keeping it real. So what if, all right, because this channel is gonna stay about solutions, all right? So, and that's why I said learning from Tyron Smith for Jason Peters, all right? So if I'm using what's often said, where past is prologue, meaning you can look back and say, you know what, this is likely going to happen because it's happened so much in the past. Past is prologue. I can predict what's going to happen because I've seen this so many times in the past, right? So if I'm preparing for Jason Peters, right, if I'm bringing Jason Peters in here, like, okay, we got this guy off the couch. We got us an offensive lineman off the couch. He wasn't in our training camp. He wasn't with our staff. We didn't work him out ourselves. We don't know fully how in shape he is. We can get a gauge from a workout, but we don't really know how his body's gonna hold up. We didn't control at all his off-season preparedness. See, because when these guys came in for training camp, they lift weights together, they run together, they have the same ice tubs, the same trainers. They keep in a detailed log of everything that happens with each athlete. Peters got none of that. He missed the entire training camp. So if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, right, I'm excited for him as a player, but I'm also cautious because my staff has not had direct eyes on him. And with that being the case, let me ask you, if you could rewind time and do this with Tyron Smith, would you? Okay, I want you to listen. If you could rewind time and do what you're getting ready to hear with Tyron Smith, the question is, would you? Listen.
Same here.
Other
I
teams that I think that's a Dallas Cowboy philosophy, to where you stick a guy in one place and then you don't move him. And we do all know that that's generally ideal, right? So I'm not going against the idealism of it, but it's also the fact that we also know that there's a left tackle that is more than likely going to miss you 4 games. And you can be proactive in trying to develop guys and prepare for that type of scenario and still keep it based on competition. It's teams that have done that. So I've featured teams that have done that. West Coast, we've talked about this with Ryan Ramczyk. Yeah, we talked about this with him because he, as a Saint, have played all over that line, and they've prepared him to do that in case somebody goes down. And that's one of the smartest coaches they ever do, and that's Peyton. And we know that. So sometimes you have to anticipate that there's a guy that's going to go down and have a plan for it, and also work in some developmental cross-training reps. The thing is, it's been done and teams do it. I think sometimes we got to open our mind to it because we don't have 2 bookend tackles. We got one that's looking like he's going to be healthy. We got one that we know go out. It's all going to depend on who the best talent after 3. Ball, Matt, or even Tyler Smith. If Tyler Smith looked like he's more of a fish in water, or moving over to left guard and having still continuity at left guard, maybe by moving up Mcgovern, there's some flexibility that can still help us get through a couple of games in crisis.
Same
it's
here.
Other teams that I think that's a. Would you do that? We got the benefit of hindsight now. Of course. Of course. Yeah. So now looking back, it's obvious we should have done exactly what I said. And what I said December 13th, and what I also said in October, what I also said last year, is we need to catch up to the times. We need to catch up to the times. That's it. Just that simple. We need to abandon the Dallas Cowboy philosophy that only we believe. We the only fans around the whole league that's still believing that you don't cross train. Not even a rep, boss. Boss, just leave them over there and don't touch them. We drafted Matt Lewisko and ball, boss. That's good enough. Hold on. We drafted who? Yeah, we drafted Josh and Matt. Boss, that's all. We good. We don't need nothing else, boss. Okay. Well, what about guys that's actually obviously more talented than those guys? You don't want to give them some reps? Nope. We gonna only give ball cross-training reps. Okay. Why not give the guy reps that you drafted as your number one draft choice? You think if you obviously think he's better, why not do him, boss? No. But there's a strong tendency that Tyron Smith is gonna get injured, and you don't know the day nor the hour of that happening. We'll face that when we get there, boss. Well, why don't we anticipate it and give Tyler some reps now and Steele? Let's give both of them some reps, you know, even if it's only 10%, 20%. No, boss, we need them to stay rooted like a tree. And never move. I mean, never. But hold on. Isn't that hypocritical? Because you're moving your backups. You moving Mcgovern, and he looked like he's stable. He looked like he handling it. We can't do that with starter grade talent. No, boss. We're only going to do that with Matt Farniok. That's it. We're going to only do that with him. We're going to do that with that old ball. We're going to do that with that old, yeah, Mcgovern. That's it. So let's just I just want to be clear on this, coach and leader. I just want to be clear. If for some reason Tyron Smith or Jason Peters just go down, the plan is to insert ball. I just want to be clear on that. Yes, boss, that's the plan, because we gave those guys the cross training reps, and we got to give those young guys a chance. Okay, so I just want to. Okay, this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm done, boss. I promise you, I'm done, coach. So are you telling me you go trust Ball to protect your $40 million investment because you refuse to prepare better talent? I just want to be clear on this. That's exactly what I'm saying. We need those guys still to stay put, and we need Tyler to only play left guard this entire training camp. That's exactly what I'm saying, boss. Shut your mouth and sit down. Cool. Live with your results. All right, we gonna take some calls. Because that's where we are. Oh, my God. That's where we are. And that's where we are because of that old thinking that I've been warning about. I mean, this ain't something that I just start warning about. Hold on real quick. I got to turn the phones on. My bad, y'all. Let me turn these phones on first. My bad. I'm talking about call in. I don't even got the phones on. All right, so let me get the phones on. They coming on now. Y'all forgive me. I should have been had these phones on. Sorry about that. All right. So now I got the phone lines open. All right. So y'all forgive me. Okay. But I'm pretty sure Coach Marv go beat y'all. Or let me call Coach Marv. Oh, there it is. I bet that's Coach Marv. Watch this. You could be Coach Marv. Boss Cowboy.
Boss, you.
I knew it. What's up, Coach?
Yeah, man. Listen, I sent you a thing with Mcgovern talked about in that little interview where I talked about him being center, about how he said he done played all over the offensive line since he's been here, and he been cross-trained since he got here, and he's gotten better at every position since he's been here because of the fact he's gotten the reps at him. And I understand what the coach is talking about trust. Well, how you build trust? By letting them play at the position and coaching them up. That's how you build trust. But if you put them out there and say, well, I'm going to predetermine already that they can't do it and I'm not going to trust them and not cross-train them, then you're doing what Mike Tomlin said. You're running away from coaching.
Yeah,
that's
exactly what you're doing.
You're running away from coaching.
I agree.
That's what you're doing when you say, hey, if I have a talented guy here, we run away from coaching because we're not going to cross-train everybody on this offensive line because our tackles hadn't been cross-trained, and let's face it, Cowboy fans, it's been how this thing was handled with this offensive line, this training camp, was a misfire.
It was
just a misfire.
Just straight up.
Because Tyron Smith should have gotten some reps at if you said you were going to put him at tackle, if that was your plan, like you say now, then you should have put him at tackle. If you do it in the preseason game, what's that? Or the scrimmages. That's how you're going to build trust, because you're going to put him in the fire. If it doesn't work out well, you have something to coach. You have something to coach. To coach him up on. But I hope we learned this lesson, because I think the Cowboys knew Tyron Smith was going to get hurt.
Yeah.
But they just ain't think it was going to happen this fast or this severe.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But that's poor planning.
Yes, poor planning.
But Mcgovern,
what it is.
And Mcgovern had gotten better.
Yeah, Mcgovern better. Ain't nobody. See, and that's why, the questions are good. Like people asking, can we trust this coaching staff to cross-train? We just saw them do it in our face. They didn't do it with the key guys. That's it.
Yeah. Right. And see, you cross-train Mcgovern right off the bat because, for one, he had a position where he was familiar at, which was always right guard when he was in college. And as in his interview, he said he always played right guard, and he came out of high school always playing center. And he played right guard and mainly center at Penn State. So when you moved him to the left side, as he was saying in the interview, he has gotten better now to feel comfortable, because you have to switch all your thinking from your right to your left, which is some people can do it quickly. Some people have some people take time, and so he is taking the time and working off season, working a lot at left guard, but you see when he was in the preseason games, it's just natural for him to work at right guard, and it's natural for him to work at center. He said the only thing he had to get used to is center. And this is the crazy thing. In his interview, Boss, he was saying, they asked him, did he know he was going to play center? He said, all of a sudden, in the last couple of practices, they said, we want you to move to center. He was like, oh. And he said he just had to get used to having the ball back in his hand. But he said he picked up on it real quick because that's what he's familiar at. So I say again, you're so right with the cross training. But if Jason Peters does come in, let's say they do sign.
Yeah.
And I said this in my super chat. Your 5 best offensive linemen would be Peters, Steele, Smith, Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, and Mcgovern. And I understand we like Tyler Biadasz, right? But Mcgovern is played the best in training camp and is one of your best linemen. And if you have your 5, and that's where we go back to the 5 best linemen, it makes no sense for one of your best linemen to be on the sideline waiting on somebody to get hurt or coming in and playing fullback.
Right. Yeah.
That makes no sense if you have a position where you don't even really have to cross-train him because he is a natural.
Center.
He played it all in college.
Yep.
He played it all in high school. He's a natural center.
Right.
And we're not talking about, I think people, when they were talking about we pay people, we draft guys, people understand this. A 3rd round draft pick, a 4th round draft pick, a 5th round draft pick, this ain't no big time investment. Guys get cut or let go 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th round picks every day in the NFL. We're not talking about a 1st or 2nd round guy or a guy that you done invested a lot of money or trade capital to get. So if you are fortunate, and we're fortunate to get a tackle in here and we say we're going to play them, we wouldn't want our Tyler Smith to be sitting on the sideline because we see he could play. And we're not going to let him sit on the sideline. We can't let Mcgovern go on the sideline because he's playing so well this training camp, and he's been a very consistent and dependable lineman, and we know he can play. You're not going to sit Zach Martin because we know he's a Hall of Famer. And Terrence Steele is playing well. But if we were to get a guy in here, then we're going to say, okay, we're going to play our 1st round draft pick at guard. And we're going to sit Mcgovern on the sideline and bring him in some jumbo package or have him come in on certain downs to play tight end or play fullback. Because we're, like we've been doing before, we're covering because we have fell in love with other people, and we feel like we don't want to hurt people's feelings. This is the best guy plays. And listen, this guy knows if that's the case.
Right.
The best guy plays. And this is it. And now when you have someone hurt, that's when you have to go to backups to play, and you should cross-train. You should try your tackles on both sides. You should at least find out if they can play both sides, and maybe the Cowboys have. But you only carry 9 linemen, and you probably only carry, I think some people don't understand that. Most teams carry 9 to 10 linemen. They only activate 8 for a game. So when y'all looking at the sideline, there may be 8, maybe 9, but it don't be 10 linemen activated for a game. So if you don't cross-train and you have a couple of injuries during a game, you're in hot water. So this thing has been mismanaged by our coaching staff. And I'm not saying they're bad, but I think they did a bad calculation, and now they got 2 to 3 weeks I would hope in these last couple of practices, since they've gotten their practice squad, that they're trying everybody everywhere to see how well they could play. I would even try Josh Ball and Walesko at guard. You never know; you might have a better guard. You know, get them out of space. You know, you have to, with young linemen, you have to try them in a lot of places, boss. And you're so right about this. When you got if you got a young team, you have to maybe train them in a lot of places, unless you really don't have a need nowhere else. And then you can say, okay, I'm going to put you here. But that don't mean you don't have an emphasis on where they're playing. But you do need to give some reps and some coaching things, some coaching tape, so you can very evaluate their coaching tape to see where you can need to work with and get that in their mind that they may have to play a different position, and it'll already be in their mind, and some muscle memory will be there. That's what you're trying to do. Trying to get some muscle memory there.
That's
but
it.
This is sit them at one place.
You won't
and
have
then
no muscle
all
memory.
Of a sudden,
right. You won't have no
right.
muscle memory. If you do it that way, you go only do what you conditioned to doing. Yeah.
You're only gonna do what you conditioned to doing, and that's why I said that this was a because I think we wouldn't be talking about this. We wouldn't even be talking about this about getting another person in here if we would have gave Tyler Smith some. We saw him in a game.
Yeah, if we would
yeah,
because hold on, coach. I'm seeing people on the chat like, I want to talk about something else. I don't, and I'm not, because this is the number one risk right now. And I'm telling, I see what's going on with a lot of our fans. We see when I start talking about what potentially could happen, we just want to put our heads in the sand and go Cowboys, boss. I don't want to hear this, boss. Boss, I can't handle it.
Boss.
Yeah.
Let me lock this one in really and give the greatest example.
All right.
Everybody love Quinn. There's nobody talking bad about Quinn. Every defensive lineman done played all the way up and down the defensive line. They had D. Law done played 3. He done played outside.
Yep.
When Randy Gregory was here, he played 3.
Yep.
He played outside.
Yep.
You done seen Sam
and we ain't
inside,
used to do that back in the day. We ain't used to do that. We ain't used to do that.
Your linebackers done played Parsons done played outside. He done played the middle. He done played the wheel. He done played the Sam. Your safeties played linebacker. They done played out as safeties. Your outside people done played inside. Everybody, and we have seen these in preseason games, and we have seen them in practice. He has put people in every position to find out what they do well, and to find out if I had to put them in this situation, what coaching that I need, or what I have to do to protect this person if I had to put them in this position, because I know what they do well at this position, and if I had to put them in this position, what defense I need to call to protect their weaknesses and to highlight their strengths. Right. I've been saying this for the longest. That's the biggest coaching tool in the world. Knowing your players to highlight their strengths and protect their weaknesses.
That's what Dan Quinn did. That's exactly what he did. And our fans didn't say a word, did it? See, my boy Pickett Pops. Hold on, coach. Hold on real quick. My boy Pickett Pops say, hold on real quick, coach. My boy say, to be real, this can be like saying Diggs should have had snaps at safety. No, it's not. That's a major false equivalence that you tried. You tried it. It's cute. See, this is the deal. You can't move Diggs off a corner because his specific assignment nobody else can do. You can't put Anthony Brown on the biggest threat on offense, but we do that with Diggs. That's why that is a specialized position that you can't do. So I know some of y'all trapped in this thinking, but I'm trying to untrap your thinking to actually start looking at solutions that's working around the league. This is only foreign to Cowboy fans, but around the league, they're doing exactly what I said. And Coach Marv gave specific examples of what Quinn is doing it on defense. He doing it on defense. If you looking, you see a lot of guys playing positions that we never thought they would play. I saw them move Gallimore to the outside. If I saw it right, I know. Yeah, they
Tristan Hill and Gallimore been playing outside, because now when you have to put them in situations like that, and when you put them on the outside, you're gonna give them one thing to do that you know that they do well. And we understand this, people. When we talk about linemen have the ability to play certain positions. Well, you know, that's different than when you talk about cornerback. They cross train. Listen, I've heard the Cowboys talk all the time about cross training their receivers. They want all their receivers to play every position. Have we heard that many times from Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy?
Yep.
Okay, then. So why is everything else is different till it gets to offensive tackle?
It's stubborn and locked into an old idea. That's all it is. It's refusing. It's just refusing to listen to logic. It's just a refusal. That's why I did this video that the Dallas Cowboys and fans need to divorce old offensive line theories. Yeah.
And we have to we would, and listen, I just want the Cowboy fans to understand this. Listen, we hadn't even started the season yet. So yes, we may have feel that they dropped the ball because they could have done a little bit more cross training to be able to handle this catastrophic injury that came so fast and was so severe because we thought it might be a 2 or 3 game thing, but it looks like it may be a season long thing. So it's a very emergency situation. But I hope that this is, sometimes you learn a lesson and now you prepare better with the practices that we have had to be able to be more suited in case a Martin goes down or another player goes down, because that could happen. A steal could go down.
Right.
That could happen. This is football.
Could happen.
This is football.
This is football. It can happen. And Sadiq said, boss, wow, really? Yeah, it's stubbornness. It is. Listen, after I address every potential objection with a fact and people still want to hold on to old thinking, it's stubbornness. That's what it is. That is not is you can't sweeten that. You can't be nice, and it's that you just don't want to come around. I guess I can say it like that. But what that it is being obstinate. All right, so Coach, let me play this real quick. If you can just stay on hold, let me just play this.
Okay.
And you might not hear it, so I'll let you know when it come back. But I'm gonna play this, and I want y'all to listen. All right, listen.
All the parts of it, they have to be there in order to be ready to play on Sunday. So I take a lot of pride in it, and look forward to the challenge of that. Of maybe a lot of weeks you don't know where you might end up playing on Sunday, and just going in and doing the best you can.
I see. Okay, hold on. So yeah. So no, I'm saying this is where we missing each other. All right, because no, I'm not blaming all of us. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the people who just refusing to even listen to any ideas. Where we're just stuck in an old idea and we don't even want to hear it. I'm talking about that, especially when somebody is presenting a solution that's gonna help us win, or where it's clear we would have been in a better situation if we would have been cross training. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So maybe I said something wrong, or maybe I'm being misinterpreted. But I'm not talking about all of us as fans. I'm saying we're being stubborn when I show you evidence of the Saints doing this successfully. And it's working for them. And yet we saying this sound like Diggs going to safety. No, it's not. And now we over here like, man, what we gonna do about Tyler Smith? Well, if we would have gave him the reps at training camps, he would have likely been better than he is now with no reps. Because there was a whole lot of us that was saying, don't give him no reps at tackle. That's what we was saying. And at some point, we got to be able to look back at it and say, okay, I did believe that. Is that still right? And it's obviously wrong. So let me play this real quick, and then I want y'all to listen. Here we go.
Yeah, you get as many as you can. You know, we've only got so many reps every single day in practice. But understanding how many reps you have and how you divide those reps and where you feel like, you know, if you don't feel as comfortable at a certain position, making sure that you get those reps. And our coaches do a great job of understanding that as well and making everyone aware of the game plan and the substitutions. And really it comes down to, you know, you got to put yourself in the spot. You got to make sure you get those reps. So on Sunday, whatever spot you might end up in, you're going to be comfortable there.
So he was talking about as a pro. That's what I'm saying. I've done the research on this. I looked around. I can give you more examples than this. And he said, if you want to be prepared for places you just might end up playing, you got to get the reps at practice. And so Pick and Pop said, the coach said he was a left side player from the start. And he was hurt at the same time this unfolded. That's my point, Pick and Pop. Before Tyler Smith was hurt, and if you already identified him as a left side player, which means you saying that you can envision him playing left guard and left tackle, what we're saying is you should have gave him as a left side player at least some reps at left tackle, not none. Especially since you said he's a left side player. You didn't call him a left guard. You said a left side player. So I'm saying going forward, when you see and have players like Jason Peters and Tyron Smith, don't try to assume it's going to take long for them to get injured, because they get injured at any time. I'm saying let's learn the lesson from Tyron Smith. Assume Jason Peters, if we sign him, could get injured at any time, and start giving some reps to your better players.
Yeah, Boss Cowboy.
Oh, we got the OC. Yeah. We got the OC up in here. What's up, big dog? Oh, with the hoodie, Coach, let me get back with you. You already know we got the OC here, but I've been in here fighting. Right, I got you. I'm gonna bring you back, though, Coach.
Listen. All right, later, man. I'm listening to y'all.
All right, cool.
Here's of this ideal of not giving reps to a guy that you that ultimately you want him to play in. It's
hoodie.
Will draft the player.
Hoodie. Come out and come right back in, because see you just come out. I got you. Ooh, that boy Hoodie was finna go in there. Now listen, now we love y'all though, all right? And this is what I want y'all to understand. Even when we disagree, this is making your voice matter, because there gonna be times that I'm wrong. It's gonna be times the OC is wrong, and y'all go point it out to us. But we all gotta be cool with debates that don't have no soft skin when it come down to debates. I'm ready, OC. Let's go.
Listen, guys, listen. Is my sound okay?
You good?
Okay. Listen. Here's the issue with the Cowboys, okay? Here's the issue. We're one of the organizations that would draft a player for a position and then change him to another position in the name of development. Who does that? Who does that? Number one. The only other team that I can think of record that really does that would be the Patriots. They guy and swap them in and out of positions. but they are a championship and were a championship caliber. We're not proven to be that. So it is a complete fallacy to draft a player and not let him get reps in the position that he came out of college playing, and that ultimately for your team you want him to play in that position. So I hear you, Forever DC. I hear you, but the reality of it is that an OTAs mean nothing. It is preseason game that mean everything.
Yeah, it's preseason. Yeah, because yes, they did give him reps at OTAs, but remember the OTAs had no pads. No pads, so that was more feet work stuff. That's all you working. You can't really get offensive line down until you get the pads on. And he got no reps in pads.
Correct.
So that's the key difference. And all we're saying, and if we can't get y'all to see this, there's no way y'all go lobby for this. You know, if we fighting y'all and we not together on this, we not gonna put pressure on the front office on this. Cause we divided on OC, you tripping dog. Hoodie OC, man. And for Hoodie OC, y'all got Hoodie OC hot. Say, listen, I'm gonna play this real quick, OC. I wanna go through this with you. Listen to this. Listen. Oh, so you stupid.
Yeah, definitely. That was
So what he asked him, he said, hey, man, when you was in high school, in college, you had to play one position. But now that you're here in the Saints, how do you prepare to be in multiple positions? That was the question. Now listen.
Yeah, definitely. That was a big transition. And early in my career, it's actually my rookie year, I learned the hard way what that's like, not preparing enough at a certain position and then going in on Sunday and, you know, feeling like, oh, man, you know, I don't feel good at this, or, you know, this isn't what I'm used to.
OC, who's in that position right now?
I think that's Tyler Smith.
Okay. Is that a pro talking, or is that...
That's a pro talk.
Oh, that's a pro?
That's a pro.
Is that offensive line better than ours? I'm just curious.
Correct.
Okay, all right, let me go back real quick. I'm just trying to make sure, you know what I'm saying? I'm interpreting this right. All right, here we go.
So I learned the hard way, but after that, you know, everyone gets baptized by fire at some point, and that was it for me. So after that, just learning that in practice, you gotta, like I said earlier, you gotta switch up where you're going. If you're in charge of backing up two positions, you gotta play two positions in practice. That's just how it is. That's part of your job. So understanding that each week, what that looks like, and that can change, and what it looks like, and just putting yourself in that position. So when you go in, you're comfortable, and you know the guy next to you trusts you that you're gonna get the job done. You're gonna play as well as you can.
Let me just speak the truth. I'm tired of this. Let me speak the truth here. This is the fallacy. Hear me. Hear me closely. Very, very closely. You assumed and you thought with your dumb self that Josh Ball was Jacob Smith. You assumed and you wanted Matt Waletzko to be better than Tyler Smith. That's the only reason why your ignorant self gave these boys reps and did not give Tyler Smith his reps at left tackle. I'm just going to say what it is. It's stupid.
Ooh, wait. Ooh, I just caught it.
Do you see what's happening here? Just say it, because I've been trying to avoid it, trying to be nice, skate around it, politically correct. Do it. This is what it is. You did not give this man his appropriate reps because you got second-year players with lower upsides that you assume will be better than Tyler Smith, and they are not. They are not. You wanted your plan to work with these guys that you wanted to give a chance who are not talent-wise, physicality-wise, speed-wise, or upside-wise. That's the reason you drafted the first round. If Josh Ball was so good, you wouldn't have drafted this kid in the first round if you were sold on him. And I said this, that's why you need to follow Boss Cowboy Sports, because I said this early in the spring. I said, sir, it's proof positive that they are not sold on Josh Ball because he was a first-round talent last year. First, second-round talent, just had some off-the-field issues. So if you were that sold on him, you would have never drafted Tyron Smith. The truth will set you free.
Hold on, bro. Listen, we trying to give it to him.
You want answers? You can't handle the truth.
We trying, OC. We trying to tell him, bro. We try. Listen,
this is the reality, Boss Cowboy.
OC, let me play this real quick. Because the OC didn't tell no lie. This is from the horse's mouth. Here we go.
You know, you give these young tackles who we've put some resources into, first-round picks, third-round picks. You know, some of these guys, they just need a chance to get out there. And, boy, they've been behind a very well-respected group in the NFL.
There it is.
That's so, and in part, here. Let me just listen. Part of that is a lie. Because I'm going to tell you who started on that line who was not well respected, who just beat people out. You know his name? Terrence Steele. He wasn't well respected. So that's a bunch of iodine poisoning in my water. Don't try to give me pure and mix in a little poison to twist it to get your agenda across of wanting to just play these guys. In capital. That's what you want to do. I want to try to get these guys a chance and play them because I don't want to feel like I didn't get a return on my Smith. Right. This is financial. This is not ball.
And somebody,
because at the end of the day,
Florida Cowboy said he talking about backups, not stars. That's the point. That's exactly what the OC is saying. That's the point.
That's the point.
Is that he was trying to go cheaper with backups, Matt and Ball, over giving the reps to Tyler Smith, which was a mistake because Tyler Smith had more upside. So listen to this. OC, this was before training camp. Listen to this, OC. Listen.
Same
it's
here.
Other teams that I think that's a Dallas Cowboy philosophy, to where you stick a guy in one place and then you don't move him. And we do all know that that's generally ideal. Right, so I'm not going against the idealism of it, but it's also the fact that we also know that there's a left tackle that is more than likely going to miss you 4 games, and you can be proactive in trying to develop guys and prepare for that type of scenario and still keep it based on competition. It's teams that have done that. So I've featured teams that have done that. West Coast, we've talked about this with Ryan Ramczyk. Yeah, we talked about this with him because he, as a Saint, have played all over that line, and they've prepared him to do that in case somebody goes down. And that's one of the smartest coaches they ever do, and that's Peyton. Oh, hold on. Let me keep going. My bad. Because this is important, because I'm going to talk about how they all should have been competing. That's the key part. Is what you're talking about, OC. Give me 1 second. Let me put it back up. I'm getting too fancy. Give me 1 second.
And I'm going to take it a step further, Boss Cowboy. I'm going to really unpack this thing. I've been holding my peace, but not no more. I'm telling you, I'm going to fully unpack it right after.
I can't wait. Hold on. Here we go. Dallas Cowboy philosophy, to where you stick a guy in one place and then you don't move him. And we do all know that that's general coaches they ever do, and that's Peyton. And we know that. So sometimes you have to anticipate that there's a guy that's going to go down and have a plan for it, and also work in some developmental cross-training reps. The thing is, it's been done and teams do it. I think sometimes we got to open our mind to it, because we don't have 2 bookend tackles. We got one that's looking like he's going to be healthy. We got one that we know go out. It's all going to depend on who the best talent out the 3. Ball, Matt, or even Tyler Smith. If Tyler Smith look like he's more of a fish in water, or moving over to left guard and having still continuity at left guard, maybe by moving up Mcgovern, there's some flexibility that can still help us get through a couple of games in crisis. I named all 3. Because, see, all 3 should have competed at left tackle. All 3. But who did they have competing over there? Somebody with a bum shoulder and the other guy that just ain't ready yet.
Now, let me fully unpack this.
Okay. Ooh-wee.
Because what you have is a biased agenda.
Oh.
You have a biased agenda. Why in the world would you give a 5th round draft pick reps over your 1st round draft pick? If he's that good, you should have drafted him in the 1st round and Tyler Smith in the 5th. Why would you try to force that? Why would you try to force that? Let me unpack it for you.
Yoga fire.
I'm going to give you this 2 years ahead of time. Jared, listen, Stephen Jones is trying to play chess to his own demise. He's trying to play chess to his own demise. Because who's cheaper to sign? A guard or a tackle? A guard. A guard is cheaper to sign. He wants to try to develop and see if he can get quality starting repetitions out of Josh Ball and Matt Waletzko to give himself leverage for the future to keep his costs down.
Oh, my.
He wants to develop these guys to keep his. It's not just because he loves them. Oh, no. These guys are thinking ahead. They're playing chess to their own demise. You got to play checkers sometimes. Because you just need one move at a time, because tomorrow is not promised. Give us this day our daily bread, is what Jesus said. And the Cowboys, to their own demise, is trying to play chess when you really just need to play checkers. Why else would you try to promote a guy that you said that all indications doesn't work hard in the weight room, Josh Ball? Matt Waletzko, 5th round draft pick. Why in the world would you give him reps over your 1st round talent? That's clearly better and elite over these guys. You're trying to forecast ahead. You're hoping that you can make these guys starters.
Yep.
You're hoping that you can make these guys good enough.
Yep.
Because on the re-sign, I'm going to get you on the cheap. Because I drafted you in the 3rd and 5th round. I don't want to have to re-sign this guy to a $100 million contract if I throw him out of left tackle and God forbid he balls out of his mind. It's easier for me to keep him if I make him the starter and one of you guys are the tackles.
Right.
There it is on a silver platter.
Hey,
you're welcome.
I even got more. So, because I'm showing you, it's research. This is research based. This is not me pulling this out my butt. The OC played tackle at a high level. You know what I'm saying? So, check this out. Ryan Remchek checks a ton of boxes for the Saints, looking to be perfect pairing, right? And they talked about their cross-training plan with him. Speak to versatility that a player like Ramczyk can offer team. He's projected as a good fit to take over for Zach Striff as the starting right tackle, but can be slid outside to the left or kick inside to guard. These are the Saints' plans. All right. And then they talked about the versatility. Based on his measurables and production, there's only season in Madison Ramczyk projects as a tackle. But as previously noted, there are no speed athletic numbers from the NFL Combine on Wisconsin's Pro Day. But Ramczyk can also slot in as guard if his athleticism does not measure up. This is the key part, the highlighted portion. As a GM, it is smarter, safer to draft a guy like Ramczyk early as your left tackle and have the ability to move him if necessary and still contribute. And that's actually what the Saints did, OC.
Yeah, necessary.
If necessary. So the Saints, what they do, and other teams, all right, they prepare you if they need you by giving you at least some reps at your secondary position.
But they give you reps at your primary position as well, Boss Cowboy.
Yeah.
That they drafted you for.
Right. And so, and that's what this show is about. This show is about basically Peters has the same injury history as T. Smith. Just like we foresaw that T. Smith could get hurt, and the best way to be prepared is to have cross training with your best tackles, which is T. Smith, Tyler, and Steele. And it's that simple. Now, we're not saying 100%, you know. You say we overreacting. Who overreacting? That's what I want to know. Who overreacted? Cause see, we wasn't overreacting when we said to do this before T. Smith. See, that's what I'm talking about. You know,
don't give it too much. Don't give it too much, because I'm gonna jump in and save it a little bit. So listen, holler at me in 3 weeks, okay? Wait till after the 3rd game, okay? And come back and tell me if I was overreacting. That's what I want you to do. Keep following the channel. Give it 3 weeks, guys, from the time we play our first game. And then come back on the channel and tweet me, okay? The OC100, all right? The OC100, tweet me, direct message me, and I will apologize and make a video if you're correct that we were overreacting.
We overreacted.
Give it 3 games.
Yep.
But if we're not overreacting, come back, give a thumbs up and a like on the channel, and drop some money in the super chat. How about that?
Yeah. And share the show. Go back and share this particular show and say, hey, these guys was warning that it's not smart to just throw T. Smith out there. It's not smart. It's just don't do it. Now, can they win by throwing them out there? Yeah. It's going to take a smart game plan. And we'll talk about how to win if they do that. But we wouldn't be true to who we are as a channel if we didn't spend time lobbying for what we think is best. But once the Cowboys fully settle and they come out and say, all right, T. Smith is the left tackle, period, then we go say, all right, cool. He our guy. This how to win with it. But until that's announced, what we're saying is prepare as if something could also happen to Peters after this dust settles. Because I don't want to get into week 4 and then we thinking everything okay. Peters finally came on the team. We 3-1. We running the ball. Everything going well. And all of a sudden,
pop goes the weasel and the weasel goes pop.
Something happened to Peters. And then we sitting here like, what we're going to do? What are we going to do? And then we go back to this show and we say, we were saying on September 1st that they should have been cross-training to prepare for what happened on week 4. That's what we don't want. That's simple. All right. But hey, this is some good news. All right. So obviously we had to go through that because that is, what we do here. We talk about potential risk that can be in the way of us winning 6. That does scare some of y'all. Some of y'all do. When y'all hear people talk about ways to get around risk,
You want answers?
you get scared.
You can't handle the truth.
But it's okay. We don't bite. The only thing we want is ideas that's gonna get us prepared to win a championship, and this is one of them. So don't lose your shirt because we very serious about this idea. It don't mean the sky's falling. We just saying this is the best options to prepare for a potential injury, period, to Peters. And this is also what to do with T. Smith if you're gonna just stick to your plan and throw him out there. That's the next thing. But OC, the good thing that everybody is talking about, I want to run this by you, all right, is Parsons. So Parsons put out there today, he said Parsons did it again on Thursday. This is coming from Fisher, right? Saying last year I was trying to find myself. This year I know exactly who I need to be, right? And so they went into it and said, who is that? He said the best player in the league. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, the line is always hungry, and lions eat. I can't even say it that much better than Michael Parsons, because at the end of the day, he's a phenom, he's a freak, and barring bad decisions and some injuries, man, this guy is unstoppable. He's completely unstoppable. He's the only person that can stop himself, man. And this guy will, I hope they rush him a little bit more. I hope they get his rush percentage up a little bit, because I really want to see him get the 20 sacks, man. But at the end of the day, I think that he's going to have a cascade effect to open up opportunities for others along these lines to have a lot of sacks, because he's going to garner a lot of attention, and he's still so good, he's going to get his. He's going to get his. But I think that it's going to be a little bit harder for him this year, and I think that you'll see some other guys get off and emerge. But I think he'll get his, man. But if they're real sneaky, and I think that here's the other flip side of that. I think that our defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, is so creative that he can manipulate and find the matchups, but he's going to have to do that and do it at a high level to really get him free and not facing a bunch of double teams every time he rushes the quarterback. But I love it, man. Michael Parsons is the man. He's a true dog, and I think he'll turn Boss Cowboy into the true emotional and performance leader of this defense this year.
Yeah. I love his ambition. And I got that sense out of him. I did. I think he knows his potential. And some athletes, they have great potential, but then they max it out. I think that's what we go get with Michael.
Pick and Pop, thanks for the $20 super chat, my brother. We appreciate you, man. Much love.
What'd he say? He ain't say nothing.
Man, he just said epic fail. That's what he said. But he gave $20, so I'm not sure what you mean, but thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate the 20 bones, big dog. But no, I think he sensed some Air Jordan type of potential. You know, I think that's what I'm sensing with him, because there are Air Jordan type of athletes, but very few actually go after it. I think he go after it. And I think he said it, and I think he's going to get his wish. He said, I want to be feared. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, I think he was feared at the end of the season. I think he was feared. Now it's the situation of, can you take your game to the next level to where now they know you coming. Now it's not a surprise. Now they're going to try to stop you. And the great players, Boss Cowboy, you know what they're going to do. You know how they're going to come. You plan for it, you prep for it, but guess what? You still can't stop it. And so that's the last battery test, in my opinion, with Michael Parsons in terms of his ability to just be a dominant defender in this league for as long as he plays, is that, okay, now they know you coming. And now can you still exceed expectations? And I think he will. And so, he's a dog. He's a lion. And he's a leader of this defense, man. I'm excited to see him go and try to get, 14, 15 plus sacks, man, and just kill it, So, I'm super excited about that.
Right. And then I've been noticing a trap, I think, that's being laid for certain people that watch YouTube, right? Because there's some trolling going on, like, for guys who actually say they watch film, like demoting it, like, the guy's not real. What makes your background creditable to say you're a film guy, OC?
Man, I hate to talk about myself, Boss Cowboy, you know that, man. But, I played 4 years in university, man. I played pro football briefly. I started, man, more than 50 games at the D1 level. I coach, kids, man. I've got a chance, by God's grace, to work with some guys that are still in the NFL, in terms of training, advice, feedback, things like that. And so I like to call myself a football connoisseur, from experience, from coaching to playing. And so, it's a part of who I am. It's not the only thing I do, but I think that does give me some degree of credibility. Not saying I know everything, because I don't, but it does give me some degree of credibility for sure.
Okay, so I want to ask you another question. You brought up that you was a Division I athlete and a 4-year starter. How much film goes into that? Could you explain what your week was like for 4 years straight? Could you please?
Yeah, so one of the prerequisites when you come into, so you play on Sunday, on Saturday, you come in and you work out on Sunday. This is how it was in college when I was in college, and then you have Monday off. You have Monday off, and so Monday is when they release film normally to us about the next opponent. Well, I learned from some guys I played with that played in the league for a little while, Ben Freaky, Wilbur Brown, a couple guys like that. When that film was out, on the off day, some of them will come and work out, but they will spend 4 or 5 hours that day just looking at film of the next opponent. And so
how much did you do?
The same as them, because I want to be good.
So hold on. So on a day off, you watch 5 hours of film? I just want to make sure I'm hearing you right.
Yeah, sometimes 4 to 5, sometimes 3, but on average.
Oh, was that your day off? I'm just trying to be clear.
Day off, yeah, day off.
Okay,
yeah, your
okay.
day off.
So what was your Tuesday like? What was your Tuesday like? I want to hear what your Tuesday was like.
Well, Tuesday, we kicked it off. We had practice. I think we was on the field around 4 or 3:50, something like that. And before, when you come in, you would tape. You would go in before practice. You would have a game plan for the practice. You would watch some more film.
Okay, so hold on. You watch. Let me try to make sure I'm understanding. You watch film before practice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Was it every Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. What happened after that?
Well, then we go through practice, et cetera, and then they would download the practice, and then you would come in, and I would come in early on Wednesday, and I would watch like my reps and stuff like that during practice, and I would watch some more film.
Okay.
Some more film of the opponent.
So
before practice.
So on your day off, if I'm understanding you right, on your day off you got about 3 to 4 hours of film. Then on the mandatory days you had film before practice, and then had the practice, and then on Wednesday you had the same schedule where you had to watch more film before practice. So far you 100% every day, and you up to about 8 hours of film, and it's just Wednesday. Am I right?
Yes, sir. You are.
Okay. What happened on Thursday?
Well, Thursday was, was a practice, man, and that was our last, get all the hay in the barn, and that was probably the, one of the heavier film days, right? That's our last real day of prep. So I will watch film. I will get there early. I'll watch film. Probably it'll be me, and I won't name them, but one of the other offensive linemen will be in there, man, probably watching about an hour of film before anybody got in the room. So we would get there early. We'll watch film, just study, breakdown before people got in the room. Then when the rest of the linemen got in the room, we would watch some more film. Then we'd have practice, and then after practice, I would watch more film. That's how I did it. I would watch more film after practice in preparation for my opponent. And then on Friday, normally, we having our last walkthrough or whatever. Last walkthrough would have. We're getting ready to travel. Yeah, we're getting ready to travel, right? Then I will come in and sit for at least a couple of hours, thinking about my opponent, what I had to do, the plays, the techniques I needed to do, visualizing everything in my head, going through every possible scenario of what I might see in that game, or what this guy might do to me, or what that guy might do to me, and how I'm going to respond. And that's another at least 2 hours, maybe 3, but at least another 2 hours of film on Friday, and then we played on Saturday.
So this was your schedule for 4 years straight? Am I understanding you right?
5 years, because I got a red shirt, so 5 years.
So for 5 years, you was watching over 17 hours of film a week.
Yeah, easy.
So does that qualify you as a film guy if you're going to talk to people about film on YouTube?
I think it was, but let me add something to that may give credibility, because people may not see me as credible or whatever, may think, well, it's much better, football, people than you and what have you, and that's fine. But, I played, for a guy named Kim Helton. And Kim Helton was offensive line coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's actually a guy that recruited me. He was an offensive line coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's an offensive line coach for the Raiders, and also for the Washington Redskins. That was all before he was my head coach where I played in college. Okay? So he was an offensive line guy. He was an offensive line guy, right?
Hey.
And then I got the privilege to play for Ted Umberhagen, which Ted Umberhagen coached at Tech and coached in the pros. Okay? Then I had the opportunity to play for a guy that played 13 years in the NFL, Georgiano. He's passed away, rest in peace.
Oh yeah, God.
Yeah, Giorgiano. So Giorgiano played at Washington State and coached at LSU and played 13 years starting center, in the NFL. And so he was my coach, for a year. Then I had the opportunity to play for a guy that's still a current coach. I think
Coach
he's
Barone.
offensive line. Yeah, Coach Clancy Barone, offensive line coach, assistant coordinator, offensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, which we're still in contact, still great friends. He was my coach for my last 2 years. So I was around and taught by all these guys, coming up, about offensive line play, and just really privileged, to learn, in my opinion, from some of the greater offensive minds and offensive line type people, that, man, I've seen out there. So.
Okay. So your spirit don't seem cocky on what you talked about as what makes you creditable to talk about film on YouTube. Well, let me tell people my background. I was a all-state athlete where I was also a very smart person individually. I graduated summa cum laude, which means that I have the IQ to be able to keep up on a collegiate level, and I graduated top 3% of my university. All right. With that, I also had a schedule like the OC to where I watched 4 hours of film on my day off minimum. I also had to watch 2 hours of film before practice, but unlike you, OC, I also had mandatory film after practice. So I had 2 hours of film after practice. So I had 2 extra hours over you on a weekly basis as a secondary player. My responsibility as a defensive player required more film. I also had coaches that taught me how to analyze game speed and film and nuance and scheme and all that, and coached in the NFL with that IQ. The reason why I'm saying that is because there are YouTubers that are actually schooling the YouTube community as if we are fake film people. So I wanted to just warn everybody that when they are telling you stuff like that, what's really going on is that's trying to hoard the sheep mentality. Okay. And they're trying to take away the credibility of people they don't know. So that's why we want to give you our background so that when you hear us discuss film, it is coming from a place of a university level. Okay, so basically we are saying, without saying, the OC could have a degree in film study, and so can I. So when we breaking this stuff down, this is not from a garage level, and this is definitely not a wannabe level. So I just want to make that clear so that people know who they listening to when they listening to us.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say just on a real tip, and I'm saying it for the fans because I'm just assuming you watch the show, man, you support the channel. We were talking about this earlier today, and I was like, man, some of the stuff and the details I avoid because, man, I don't want to get too molecular with some of this stuff, man. I want it to be at a level, man, where everybody that can enjoy it. You can learn, you can get something out of it, but I could be super more granular. If y'all want that, man, y'all can put it in the chat and I'll start doing it. I'll be super granular, like breaking it down to a cellular level, but I'm trying to be general, give you some specifics so we can keep it rolling, man, so everybody can enjoy the content, man, and support the Cowboys because that's what we're here for. So it's all good.
And I think Will hit the spirit the best. I think he hit it the best. There's enough for everyone to eat. There's no reason for someone to try to discredit another. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can move on. We good.
Yeah, we can move on to that. But honestly, we had to talk about that because I saw some references from my chat when I said we was going to the film. One guy typed in film guy. I'm like, oh, okay. I know you got that. That's cute. But what's happening is, sir, you're being manipulated. You're being manipulated. Somebody trying to, and listen, we got respect for people that got their inside stuff. I got respect for that, and I give people their flowers when they have access. That's a good thing, and I appreciate that. But if we all playing in the same playground, sandbox, I'm not gonna throw sand in other YouTubers' faces to try to make myself look like I'm more credible than somebody else. I don't know your full background, nor do you know ours. But this gives us a chance for people who might be falling for that to address it so that you can know, you can trust what's coming over here. That's it. But any final words, OC?
All right. No, man, we good, man. Listen, man, if you like the content, man, don't forget to hit the like button, please, man. We had up to almost 200 people watching, man. So please hit that like button, man. It really helps us get recommended on the YouTube channel. Hit the share button, man. You can copy the link, man. Share it with your friends and family and people that, hey, man, just enjoy football and great content, man. So we appreciate the support of the channel, man. Go ahead and drop some love in that super chat for us, man. If y'all don't mind, man, it really helps us pay for the equipment and all the things that we got to do to help keep this thing popping. You can put money in the Cash App as well. And just follow Boss Cowboy Sports, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow me, the OC100 on Twitter, man. And, man, much love to you.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.